Welcome to the Stiff Arm. I'm Ron Mexico. Welcome to the show. Looks a little different, right? Studio looks a little different. Things switched around. Don't mind that. Also, doing this by myself today. In case some of you are wondering what's going on, Ron. Did you and Charlie have a spat? Yes, we had a lover's quarrel. As always. He didn't like me calling him Carlton. Hey, I can finally say that without fear of getting punched in the side of the face. But Charlie India, unfortunately, has left us. Left as in being, he didn't go Dave Chappelle and go to South Africa, but he got to check into the sports bar a little bit earlier than we all anticipated. Charlie passed away last week. He was 56, last Wednesday, September the 23rd. The best thing I could say about it is at least I got to spend probably two of the happier things he got. I got to spend 2 days with him doing things he liked to do, bullshitting about sports, drinking heavily, and watching football and eating chicken wings. It was a slice of heaven. Be honest with you, we really didn't talk a whole hell of a lot. It was just. I mean, that's what most guys do, and that's how Charlie was watching a game. He was very focused on it, and it just sucks that the last game we get to watch was the Dolphins getting their asses handed to them by that fucking junior varsity team. And you know what? You're still a fucking junior varsity team, so fuck you. Oh, by the way, the views and opinions of said Ron Mexico, he who wears the big hat makes all the fucking rules. That's how the Catholic Church is. So the Pope was a big hat. Views and opinions are mine and all mine. And if you don't like them, fuck you. But as I'm recording this today, I just came from his funeral. And first, before we even talk any more about the man, I'd be remiss. I was thinking I need some water. I just wanted to dry out today, and I'd be doing my old partner a disservice. I went to get water, and I could just hear the voice in my head. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, sorry. So. Charlie, you'll be missed. Like I said, may your mug never go empty. May there be a television screen big enough to fit your novellas in all the basketball games you ever care to see. May the chicken wings be unlimited and hotter than the magma from the center of the earth. You're a great guy. Whether you want to believe it or not, you were a pretty damn inspirational guy. And thanks again for the conversation we had in the kitchen Saturday night. Charlie India, cheers, my brother. But other than that, yeah, the Dolphin game was a total fucking shit show that he and I were watching. And knowing Charlie, he was never one who was not afraid to poke fun at himself, and I think sometimes relish being the butt of the joke just to make everyone in the room laugh, because he liked doing that too. And it's kind of poetic that the last game we did see was against Jacksonville, with as much shit as he and I talked during the off season and saying that we were never going to recognize that franchise, and I'm going to say it's a junior varsity team and this and that. And the last fucking game he and I get to see is that. And the other thing that's kind of weird too, I didn't even think about that, is his favorite Dolphin player was Marino, and he got to see Marino go out like horribly against Jacksonville, like one of the most lopsided playoff wins I think in league history. And that was the last game we had to see Marino play. So in other words, you know what, Jacksonville, you really are not earning a soft spot in my heart at any fucking time soon. So fuck you guys. But, I mean, it is kind of ironic, because it's not like he and I thought they were going to be world beaters. I mean, we figured they were going to do something. I mean, show us something. And pretty much all they showed us was that you guys love giving it up on third and a mile. I mean, you guys are whores. I mean, I think you almost broke your pelvis is spreading your legs so far trying to give up the third and long. But that's what he kept pointing out. He goes, because we can't stop the third and long. It'd be like first and 10, first and 10 they stop it. It'd be like second and 12. They sack the quarterback. It's like now it's like third and 20, and then first down or touchdown. But it was a good football Sunday though. I mean, we came in and we just pretty much just watched the 8 games at once before we had to wait till 4 o'clock to watch what turned out to be the abortion. That was the Dolphins game. I thought almost all the late games were really bad. I mean, who else? Oh, Philadelphia and Dallas. I mean, we just kept just laughing about just how shitty Philly was, and then this week they, I guess, right themselves against playing the Jets. Well, listen, Jets, you'll have a nice win on in England next week, so don't worry about it. But it was, like I said, it was kind of poetic, just the way how much shit he and I have talked about the Dolphins, and it was almost satisfying in a way, which is kind of weird. It's like why would you want to see your team just twist in the wind like that? Just because I think he and I just had the mutual satisfaction of knowing we were both right, and how fucking dumb a lot of the talking heads are and what they think about teams. And it's like you just do not understand the soul of that team, and all that team is just, it's a negative fucking, it's a black hole of Calcutta, that fucking franchise. That goddamn 72 win is more of a burden than it is a source of pride, because it's now, I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. We're never going to see it. Just remember what I tell all the Dolphins fans, is what did the Dolphins fan do when the Dolphins won the Super Bowl? Shut off the Xbox. But it was good that Saturday and that Sunday, and then I was at work Tuesday morning, and I get a text from Charlie, and Charlie's handle in my phone, his code name was 1800, because that was the man's brand of tequila. So if you're watching this, go and grab yourself some 1800. I don't give a fuck if you have 2 fingers. Go grab yourself some 2 fingers and drink that. Ellie, you know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I was in total shock. So today was actually Charlie India's funeral, and it was nice. It was. It's a little bittersweet, because now I learned all these stories about Charlie that I would love to have pulled out from time to time on the show and completely catch him off guard and just fuck with him. But he was a really good guy. It was a good turnout. There's a lot of people there, so Charlie, there was a full house. The Kentucky Blue was a nice touch. Those of you who've heard on the show, Charlie was a huge Kentucky Wildcats fan, and that is who he lived and breathed with, was that Kentucky fucking team. Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, the past 2 finals, I had the pleasure of doing a show with him like day after the Final Four. And man, he was always Mr. Warmth to begin with, and like, he just always had this gruff exterior. He was a great guy. He was a very nice guy. He was a sweetheart of a guy. But yet you had to get through his security, which was that rough exterior. And if you made it past the bouncer, if you were in the club, you were good. That's how Club Charlie worked. And he was definitely bound. He was like, hey man, bro. He was fucking tired because he probably had worked that night at Publix. So, and knowing him, he had to stay up, and he knew he was doing the show, and he didn't give a fuck how lack of sleep he was going to put himself in. God damn it, he was going to be prepared. The man was always prepared. I was going to say that the guy did not, and if he didn't, the dude knew how to scramble. Anyway, I should probably drink more of this right now. Oh, by the way, Charlie, God damn, this is awful. That's why they have to put lime in this shit. But I mean, this is the equivalent of, like, it tastes like Miller High Life, and it's, I don't know, man. He always would give me shit about it. He'd just go, why can't you just drink normal fucking beer? I was like, I hated Bud Light. I hated Bud. It's all, that was Charlie's go. He didn't care. He goes, gets me drunk. Gets me drunk just the same. But, dude, I could never ever, I couldn't do it. But it was nice to, hear how much everyone loved him. They all had a really good story about him, and about either something that just a really good guy. Just really showed he really was the type of friend that if you needed to go, if he was the type of guy definitely that if you were in a dark alley and you needed fuck if you needed Batman. If that son of a bitch showed up, you were in better shape. You're probably in better hands than Batman, because he would have. He was just, he was that kind of a guy. He would, if you were in his, like I said, you got past that bouncer exterior of him, and you got in the club with him. You were as good. He didn't care what you could have done in life. He would never judge you. He would never leave you. You were his friend. You meant that much to him, and it's just sad I didn't understand that part about him until he was gone, or until our later conversations. I mean, stuff he and I we would talk about so much shit off air, and on those, and that's what they'll be. You guys will never know about those stories. This is private things about just difficult stuff he and I would be going through in life. And he was a little bit older than me. I mean, not much. He's 13 years older. It's a middle schooler. But I've always said, hey dude, we're in the same section. Your seats are just a little closer to the field than mine. And this was a unique. I've never kind of experienced really losing. I've had family members die and grandparents pass away, and I felt more sad for my family than myself. I felt bad for my mom and my sister when my grandmother passed, but I really didn't feel too sad. My grandmother lived a really full life, and I just chose to remember her, just thinking of crazy funny stories he had. And with Carl, that's what I wanted to do too. Was just and one of my favorite stories about him that I didn't want to say in front of his family, but it's going to be on the internet, and they know what the show is. But we went to a Dolphin game in December the 14th, 2008. Tickets over there. That was the last Dolphin game I ever been to, and we saw the Dolphins play the 49ers. And I remember when I bought the tickets, I prefaced it with, "Listen, I really want to buy tickets to this game because this is coming off of the year the Dolphins were 1-15, and the 49ers were still Singletary was still coaching them." And I think this was Charlie's first Dolphins game. So we go down there, we go the night before, we stayed at the Crew Hotel, which was the airline where Charlie and I met working at, and we stayed there, and man, we fucking party. Well, he. I can't keep up, as you've seen in past episodes, drinking episodes of the Stiff Arm with Ron Mexico. That is a battle I would never, that is a contest, no. And I had a competitor for him, but no, it was a fight. It was a war I didn't want to get into. Anyway, long story short, we're hanging out at a nail house. We're fucking partying down. It's like a Saturday night before the game. It's like you get there like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It's happy hour. Fucking college games are on. Grand old time. And then the party continues that night. And so the boys all go into a BJ's, which is like a wholesale club. We go to the liquor store, and Carl buys a bottle of 1800 Jose Cuervo tequila. That was he loved that shit, and that's why he was 1800 in my phone. And I got the and that was so surprising when I saw that go up on the phone. Anyway, long story short, he gets tequila, and then we get beer and all this, and we're partying around like the pool at a La Quinta. We're ballers. We're living large, man. And anyway, we're just partying, having a good time. Charlie drank the entire bottle of 1800 tequila, and that's a big fucking bottle. And he'll get a little dopey, and his speech gets a little slurred, but for the most part, he's always hard to tell. Like, how fucking trashed are you? Well, the only time I ever saw Superman trashed, and that's pretty much what he was Superman when he drank this shit. They finally threw us out, and we had to go to our rooms. We were making too much noise. So we all had to disperse and had to go to bed. And as we're all dispersing, he walks right into a hedge, which was about hip height, and went ass over elbows, and fucking just bottomed out. And I just looked at the Reverend, and I go, did we just fucking see that? And I go, I think I started yelling, "Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!" And they're like, "Shh!" I go, "What? This is fucking, I've never seen this man fall down." There's three things I was amazed I've ever seen in my life. Arizona Cardinals fans, Charlie drunk, and there's a third one somewhere, but it'll come to me eventually. But that was an incredible. I was like, I've never. As the first, and the next day the motherfucker was fine, or at least he probably now that I know a little bit more about him, he just would not admit defeat. I know he had. There's no way you could drink an entire bottle of tequila and not the next day you want to hear snails crawl. But he was. I don't recall him drinking much the next day, but he definitely would not admit to probably how much pain he was in, and I was like, that is a tough motherfucker right there. But it was a very nice get together of family and friends and meeting everybody. And I'm so sorry that he's gone, but he will be missed. The show will definitely go on. I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't care the first ghost I have to see be Charlie. When he was alive, that was a little intimidating enough. I don't need you fucking floating around above my bed telling me to get off my candy ass and do something. So yeah, goddammit, I'll keep the show going. And actually the coolest thing I got to meet today was, and I'm sure he played some part in it, was meeting a friend of his named Ellie. Ellie, it was very nice meeting you today. She goes, I'm a fan of yours. I'm like, what? I'm like, of what exactly? I'm like, what did we do? I'm thinking the worst of something, and she listened to it. So whenever we say we don't know who the fuck listens to it, I've actually met one person who listens to this show. So Ellie, thank you very much for listening to this fucking show. And you better be drinking. You better follow suit on your promise of drinking bourbon, as you said you would when we live in the cemetery today. But yeah, that's what's I guess happening. If you came for football coverage, you tuned in for the wrong goddamn show this week. Like I said, it wasn't just. I can't even remember what the fuck happened in week 2. Some teams won, some teams lost. Again, still rounding ourselves into shape here. And as for this week's games, well, I'm recording this now. Who's the Monday night game tonight? Oh, Packers and Chiefs rematch of Super Bowl I. Chiefs have never lost in Green Bay. I'm gonna go with Kansas City in an upset tonight. Just because of that trend. Because I just learned about the Eagles have never lost to the Jets. So Green Bay is still kind of rounding themselves into their form. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs, man, in an upset. And that's about it, y'all. Charlie, you will be missed. I think you've always told me, see you on the flip side. So for the rest of you here, this is Ron Mexico saying, see y'all on the flip side.